Welcome to Glitch and Glow, the podcast where digital dreams meet soulful self-care. I'm Ariel,
And I'm Edna.
and we're social workers by trade, and we're your hosts on this journey through the worlds of tech, wellness, gaming, and Black womanhood.
Each week, we dive into real conversations, level up our self care, decode the latest tech, and celebrate the wins, big and small, in our communities.
Whether you're here for the healing, the hacks, or the high scores, you're in the right place. So grab your tea, your controller, or your headphones. Let's tap in.
Hey, okay. So, we're going to start off with our first segment, and that is boot sequence, where we boot up and sink in. Here's what's on our minds today. Ariel, let's start off, of course, with our glitches. What is your glitch for this week?
Okay. So I just had a surprise glitch. But the glitch I want to talk about is earlier today, actually. They were like doing some work on like my like apartment building. And it was just like fine, that's whatever. But they didn't tell us that they were going to be doing work, and whatever they did knocked out the power for like one of the walls like in our apartment, like in the kitchen. And then also, and I think wherever like the hot water heater or whatever is like a right around that. So like here I am, right? It's wash day today, okay? And like for me, wash day is a multi-step process. You know what I'm saying? So like we start off with like I have like do an oil mask, so I have all of this oil in my hair. It sits in there in 30-45 minutes, and it's like time to get into the shower to like wash my hair. And then I go turn it on the hot water, and nothing, like it's just cold. It's cold everywhere. I was like, okay, this is weird. Let me like check some other stuff. Then like the bathroom sink, cold water. Then I checked the kitchen sink, cold water. And I was like, okay. I'm not doing a cold shower. I don't know what has to happen, but like this is not what it's gonna be for me. So my fiance made it happen. He was texting all the people like, yo, this is what's going on. We gotta do something. And I was like, yes, we gotta do something. We gotta do something. Cause like at this point this oil has been in my hair forever. And I was like doing wash day in the middle of all my meetings. So I would like meet with somebody on camera and then do another step, and then meet with somebody and like do another step. And so like we needed to wash the hair. So eventually like it got, it was fine. Everything like worked out, but like it was like it was a moment of stress for a little bit, because I was like, I cannot be meeting with people in my shower cap with like oil dripping down my face. Like what?
That's what I imagined.
Because that's what it is. So anywho, that was my glitch. That was like a hot mess today, but it was figured out and we got it together.
Man.
And my surprise glitch is that the acrylic off of one of my nails literally popped off 5 minutes ago, and
I did witness that.
unfortunate. So
Yeah. Yeah. I do want to go back first to the shower thing, because that's really tough. Just to like the cold showers. I know that people do like the
can't.
1 minute of cold showers to get your energy going and all the health benefits and all that. But especially on a wash day, it's like, I just can't participate. That's really hard. That's really
I just cannot. I will not.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
not. So
I'm happy it wasn't winter though, because I know the water is like extra cold in the winter. So, ooh, thank goodness that it
okay.
wasn't winter at least.
If it was
Look at
winter,
Beyonce
I
coming
don't know.
through,
I mean,
getting it
okay,
done
because
with water.
all I was ready to do was complain. He was like, "We'll fix it."
I
I was
love
like,
that.
"Hey, check this. It's not working. I've been running it for 2 minutes."
Shout out to Beyonce, okay? I
Okay.
love that.
So yeah, so that's my glitch. Real glitch, surprise glitch. Edna, tell me what's your glitch?
Um, so for anybody who is watching this on YouTube versus listening to us maybe on Spotify, you might be able to see my hair right now. This is what I am dubbing my hobbit hair. I just showed Ariel this a little bit ago. You can see it from the front. It has like the messy curl going on. If you see it, let me go to the side. You know what I'm saying? And is 100% hobbit hair for me.
Bro.
My hairstylist somehow is booked up for the next like 2.5 months. And now, if
How
anybody
slick.
knows, yeah, I don't know. And okay, it's because curly hair, curly hairstylists, they get booked up. Sure, sure, sure. But 2.5 months is quite crazy. I emailed her directly. She hasn't responded back. And I love this girl and I've liked how she's cut my hair. But now we are in a rut of like, it is time.
It is
As
time.
Rafiki has said. Yes, it is time.
It is time.
And so I'm just like doing this in the meantime, but just needing a haircut because I like my hair short these days and it's doing like
Yeah.
the weird in between. And so, yeah, I look in the mirror and I'm like, hobbit hair. And it makes me laugh. And I'm like, it's cool for
Dude.
now. But I also now need to go through the pain of finding someone new when it was so hard in the first place. So that's my sincere glitch. That is.
Yeah.
It's gonna
Can I
be
do
a
an
time.
update?
Yeah.
Because you mentioned The Hobbit.
Oh my God, yes, please.
So,
Oh my God, you posted about this on IG. That was
bro,
so funny.
I did. I did. I
You were
did because I need,
crocheting. You're
and I
so
was
great.
crocheting and I was
Yeah.
like, we made it. We made it. Okay. Then we're like, cool. Second movie. Let's go. Desolation of Smog. Why? First of all, this was my first mistake. I wasn't really paying attention. I accidentally did the extended version of this movie. I also didn't have any of the tools that I needed with me. You know what I'm saying? I had no Celsius, I had no crocheting. I was just out here just trying to watch it. And when I tell you, I took a full nap, and woke back up, and that bad boy was still on the TV. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
Why? They're so long.
I didn't. Okay, yes. Also, again, my bad. I didn't realize I pressed the extended version, which was like three, I don't even know, 3+ hours.
Yeah, they are.
I took a good nap, too. A good one. And I just couldn't believe my eyes that was still on the TV. Couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I feel like even if you didn't do the extended version, though, that still would have happened.
Right?
I haven't seen the extended version for the Hobbits, but I have for the
And
Lord of the Rings
shouldn't.
trilogy. Yeah, I don't, but I could barely
Yikes.
handle.
Yikes.
I swear we love Lord of the Rings. It's just the Hobbit that
The
really.
hot bro. I think I am not gonna do a take two, the second one, and like, do I need to really see it? Maybe I'll like read a
Little synopsis.
summary, and then just like move on to the next one because like
It's probably like a YouTube summary breakdown,
that
something for
I'm gonna
sure.
do that. Listen, I tried, folks.
I can't rally for him, so I have nothing to say.
Honey oodle.
Yeah,
I did my
yeah.
best.
You did.
I did.
You did. You did. I've only
'Cause,
watched them
whoa.
once. That's all I will do. So I understand. Maybe someone who's listening will be like, look, but here's why it's worth it.
Yeah,
It's
maybe
so
someone can
good.
convince me because where I'm at, it took 4 times to watch the first one. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Like
wow.
4 tries. So like I don't have another 3 tries in me for this. You know what I mean? I'm
Mm-hmm.
never gonna get through this series.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. I hear you.
I don't know.
Yep, I really do. Well, then what's your glow? Because that's like, feels like a double glitch.
Yeah, that was a double glitch. My bad. My glow though. Glow. My glow was last weekend. I was dog sitting for a friend, and it was so fun. She's like a tiny little gal, and like my dog was a big boy. He was like 85 pounds, and like just a massive guy. And so it was so interesting, like being with like a little pup versus being with like a bigger one. And she was so cute and she loved to cuddle. And like, oh my gosh, she was just like a little nugget. I will say she went on a hunger strike for about 2.5 days, which
Hmm.
really stressed me out. But then
Yeah,
she started eating, it was like fine. But I was like,
good.
yo, you got one more day or I'm taking you to the vet because like
Yeah.
what is happening?
Hmm.
So she did do that, but other than that, she was just like a little angel baby. And she has so much energy and like loves to play. And her zoomies were so cute. Like it was just so cute. And she
That
just like is an actual lap dog. Like just like wants to be on you all the time. And like it was really sweet. So
That's so sweet. I will say,
shout out to Ava Bean. That's the homie. But
oh, that's a cute
yeah, she's
name
so
too.
cute. Yeah. Yeah.
I will say we used to watch a friend's dog. That dog has since passed away. But whenever we watched him, at least for the first few days, he would straight up have the runs. Like just the grossest poops ever. I know that's a lot to be saying, but
No,
like
well,
that's exactly what it
actually,
was. He wasn't going on strike with his hunger, but like he was just a nervous Nelly. And he loved us and he'd been with us
yeah,
many times, but poor guy.
yeah. Actually, that does remind me. She did poop in the house twice. It's fine though because she knew not to do it on the furniture and she just did it on the floor. But after the second time, I had to have a conversation with her because, girl.
You're like those black moms talking to the dogs. They're like, hey,
Dude,
hey.
because tell me that you need to go out. She won't tell you. So I was
Mm,
like, we would
mm.
wake up. It would be like 7:30 in the morning, and I'd go out to the living room, and then there's like poop on the floor.
Oh no.
And then she's just looking at me like, "Hey, girl," and I
No.
was like, "What
Oh,
is
no.
this?"
What was the talk like?
Oh my gosh, it was, "Hey, girl. So this pooping that we're doing overnight, it must stop." Like, literally, it's like, you're not gonna keep doing this to me. So if you need to go out, you like to bark, friend, say something.
That's
Speak
so
up.
funny.
Okay? Like, speak up, please. And she just looked at me and she did a head tilt and then walked away. And so, did she listen? I mean, she must have because she didn't poop in the house no more. But, like,
Love that.
yo,
Hey, but it was great to have her company and to
it
get
was
some
great.
lovies and some cuddles. So
Yes,
hashtag
yes.
worth it.
She loves to love on you. She
Oh,
really tried to like lick our faces, and every time I was like, "No, ma'am."
I was like, oh, I
But
almost stuttered. I was like,
every
please no.
time, "No, ma'am." Nope, nope. Like literally like juking her and stuff. But
Ah.
but she's like so lovely. I would definitely watch her again. We just have to have the talk much sooner.
For sure.
And we would be like good to go.
For
But it
sure.
was super cute. It
That's
was really cute.
good. It's the
Yeah.
first time. So yeah, next time she'll be like, oh yeah, y'all. I've been over here
And
before.
the thing is, like, she knows me. She just doesn't know the place.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And I'm sure it
you
smelled like
know.
your old pup before and
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm
So it was a
sure it
lot.
did.
Yeah. She's like,
Yeah.
what's happening here?
Yeah. But yeah,
Oh,
that was my glow. It was a good time. It was a good
oh,
time.
that's so
Miss Ava
sweet.
Bean.
Aw.
Yeah. So, what's your glow?
My glow is directly related to our episode about the movies because as much as I was talking shit about not wanting to pay, they got my money because the summer came out with movies. Okay.
Hey,
I like made a list, so I'm like literally looking at my phone so I don't forget a movie that I've seen in the past few
let's
weeks.
go. Wait a
I know, because
minute.
we really have been up there. And there's this new movie theater that we tried that's like really nice and stuff. It makes you feel like the older days of like when you go to the movies and it feels like, oh yeah, I'm at the movies because it's so nice and new. But anyways, we saw.
Wait. Can I ask, what were the seats like? Are they like the reclinies with like the cold and hot seats and
Yes.
all that?
I don't know if they
Oh
get
my
cold, but they definitely get
God.
warm, and you can control the level of warm, and the sleep, they don't feel gross. They're not peeling away. Like they just, and
Yes.
they recline. I always have back and neck issues, whatever. So like they recline so perfectly. I can get so comfy in there. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
genuinely so nice. The screens are really, really big. The sound is crisp and good, and like you can see the people's pores or whatever. Like it is so.
I'm like,
It's a
did
great
you
movie
just time
experience.
travel? Did
I
you time
did. I did.
travel?
I closed my eyes and legit saw the screen in my head. I was like, oh, yes. But we didn't see every movie at this theater, but we saw a few. And it was a sublime experience, which then we saw one of these movies at another theater, like an AMC that's much older. And they clearly haven't updated it like in ages. Like the wall was falling apart. You could see paint touch-ups that didn't match the paint, like the wall paint that they used.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, well, we don't need to come back here. We'll go back to the other theater because we paid damn near more money to be here anyway. So, okay, so here's what I saw. Here's what we saw.
Okay.
Me and my husband, we've been seeing all the movies. We saw Superman, of course, which was so good. I have been a
It's on the
Batman girly
list.
for so long that this is the first Superman movie. And I haven't seen the old ones with Christopher Reeves, but this is the first one that I was like, you know what? I turned to my husband. I was like, this was so good. It was so
Hey.
good. We are now on a Smallville binge. Like, I am eating up all the Superman stuff. I've been like, not Superman's fan. Like, he is like the Boy Scout. Like, I'm like, oh, roll my eyes, Superman, whatever. Now I'm like, oh my God, what a great guy. What a great hero. I'm sold. I'm into it. We saw Jurassic Park Rebirth. Um,
How do we feel?
so, okay, I rewatch, judge me or don't, I don't care. I rewatch all of these Jurassic Park movies. Somehow I realize like once a year. I think I'm
Hmm.
just like, okay, whatever. I might have them on throughout the day while I'm working or something in the background, whatever. But like, I'll rewatch them because I have a good time. I know what to expect. I'm there to get entertained. This
Mm-hmm.
one,
Mm-hmm.
if you go in it, like we talked about, your
Yep.
expectations aren't high. We're just here to be entertained and have a good time.
I'm trying to see some dinosaurs. You know what I'm saying?
Occurred for
Like,
me. I have
that's
some thoughts
it.
about that. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but I was entertained and I did have a good time at the end of the day. Then we saw Sorry Baby. We have a group of friends that we like watch movies together, and so one of them was saying like, "Hey, this movie's been getting a lot of buzz for like maybe Oscar worthy, etc."
Hmm.
And so we're trying to be like on top of it, so we don't have to like binge them all before the Oscars next year.
Mm-hmm.
And so we
Mm-hmm.
watched this, and it was actually really, really good.
I've
Some
never
trigger
even
warnings
heard of
for it.
this one.
Exactly, hadn't either.
Okay.
But it's about like two best friends and an event that is triggering. So if you're somebody who's like, oh, I want to know what that trigger is, I suggest you look it up. But ended up being really, really good. Like I thought it was really good even to talk about mental health and ways to talk about
Mm.
mental health, all sorts of stuff. I really recommend it. But again, trigger warnings there. And then we saw Fantastic Four. That's the last one we saw. And
Mm-hmm.
I think it was good. And I think the Fantastic Four are just a group of heroes that are a little hard to sell for me. So with that in mind, it is the best out of all of them that have come out. And I think every actor acted their ass off, okay? Like for real, really good. The special effects, really good. We watched the
Mm-hmm.
breakdown after, made a lot of sense. Like all that was really good. I probably won't watch it again, but it was, I do think it's worth a watch with like the Marvel tiredness that I was feeling. I was like, I'm glad I saw this. Like,
Yeah.
it was really good.
Yeah.
But okay, the last part about Michael, this was really long, unexpectedly. It's that uh, so I think I had said that at like AMC, they might be doing more commercials. So they definitely were doing more
Mm-hmm.
commercials, more stuff for TV even. And
Mm.
they showed Twisted Metal. And who pops up on the screen? This Twisted Metal show, right? That used to be a video game, now it's a show.
Mm-hmm.
Effing Anthony Mackie. And it brought me back to
Yes,
the
girl.
episode where I was like calling it Crazy Taxi. And I was like, oh my God, it was Twisted Metal this whole time. Sorry for mixing up these car games. And it's also been
Ah,
nominated. I'm looking at it right now.
that's
It
on
was,
Peacock, right? I think that's on
yeah, it's
Peacock.
on Peacock. And it was,
Okay.
um, maybe it got the award or was nominated for the award. I did not click far enough, but for like best game adaptation. So like what?
What?
Yeah, I know. And was nominated for an Emmy too. So just like I'm intrigued to maybe watch it now. I don't
Yeah.
really know, but it did pop up and I was like, wow, this is the thing.
Hmm.
So yeah, glitches and glows all around. Went back to the movies and it was a really good time.
That's so fun. I love that. I do need to make it back to the movies because I honestly have not been since
Sinners?
Sinners. Yikes. What a long time. Yeah. So
Mhm.
I definitely need to,
There's stuff out
because
now.
I actually really do want to see Superman. So I kind of
It
need to make
really
that
was good.
happen because it's been in theaters for a minute now. So,
Yeah, I recommend.
okay.
I recommend it.
Cute. Okay. Okay. Well, let's move right into our next segment, which is debug this. So, we're going to get into a conversation about e-health and like virtual therapeutic games for mental health. So, right? So, okay. I think I'm like, do I want to ask questions first or do I want to hit you with info first? Actually, no. My first question I will say like, do you know what e-health is or like have you heard of e-health or any like examples of it? Anything you can think of? It's okay if you don't cuz this is just a cold question. But
Yes and no. So, like, I think I talked to you about it, Ariel, a while ago, and this is a while ago now, so I don't have all the information anymore. But I was talking with someone who's in like the game dev sort of area or, lane, and they had been talking about like using VR, virtual reality, with people who experienced burns or were burn victims to
mhm.
like give them a sensation or like the visualization of snow in a really cool place, and it helped with their pain management.
Yes.
To like give the sensation of feeling cooler, even though there's like literally not a feeling happening, it's more the visualization and the sounds and stuff. So I'm thinking about that, and then I'm thinking about research that I did not go deep enough into about like gaming to help with ADHD. But I don't know like the specific games. I feel like I had looked them up at one point in time, but didn't delve more deeply into it.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking a little bit about, but this might not be what you're talking about, like accessibility in gaming, but this feels a little bit different. But I could see how they're tied together too. So all that to say, no, but that's what it makes me think of.
Okay, well, you definitely like are on the right track, and one of the things I actually am going to talk about is virtual reality therapy because that is a big component, and absolutely right, definitely helps with folks because they do a lot of exposure therapy, which is what you were talking about, and it's used to help folks that have PTSD or if you're experiencing phobias, and they do a lot of like relaxation and mindfulness and like digital spaces so that like they are able to manage their emotions or behaviors when if they do get triggered by those things. So definitely one piece of it. Um, some other parts of eHealth is literally just like mobile mental health apps. So like mood trackers, guided journaling, mindfulness stuff, and some, examples of that is Headspace. I know that's a really big one. The app is really good. And there's another one that they mentioned, Mood Path. I haven't heard of it, but
Mm-mm.
I'm assuming it's along the same lines as Headspace and the Calm app. And then also there are some like cognitive behavioral therapy based tools that help with anxiety and depression that are a part of like that eHealth platform. They also talked about teletherapy and telehealth. So that's another part of eHealth, which is really just being able to talk to your therapist or your psychiatrist or whoever via Zoom or phone. And, that really, really popped during the shutdown for COVID.
Mhm.
And since then, like a lot of people are able to meet with their service providers, never have to leave their home if they don't want to. And it's just in terms of like accessibility and convenience, it's really, really good. It's really good too for folks who live in like remote areas that have like limited mobility because it's not even just like for mental health, it could be just your regular PCP or whoever. So that's another aspect of it. They also talked about online mental health platforms, so like sites like BetterHelp or Talkspace, and those are things that are used to kind of help connect users with licensed therapists. So, some like I know definitely for Talkspace. I'm assuming for Better Health, but I'm not sure. But definitely for Talkspace, there is an option where you can do therapy via like texting or like chat therapy.
Mm.
And I know a lot of people use that as kind of like their gateway into therapy. Like if therapy feels very intimidating, like it might be easier to be able to talk to someone via text or chat so that they can still get that support that they need, but it also takes away, you know, any like intimidation factors they're feeling, or if they're anxious about meeting with somebody one on one, it just makes it a little bit easier. And then, yeah, the last one, virtual reality therapy that I talked about a little bit before. So, some of the benefits about e-health. Overall accessibility, right? So talked about how it really helps reach people in underserved communities or folks that have barriers to in-person care. Affordability, because some of those tools are much cheaper than traditional therapy. And I do know that for traditional therapy, if you're not able to use insurance benefits, like it's possible that the cost can be really, really high unless that provider is able to like provide some sort of like sliding scale fee. So I do know affordability is a really big piece. They also noted anonymity, so helping people who might feel stigma about having to seek out mental health care. I think e-health kind of lessens that stigma some because you're not going to get that same judgment potentially. And then they also talk about convenience and engagement. So, convenience essentially just because support is typically available 24/7 from your phone or your computer versus meeting with somebody at a set time every week or whatever. So, that's the convenience part. And then for engagement, a lot of them have like game like features. So a lot of like options for like interactivity to kind of keep people involved in their own like wellness journey. So let me see if I want to ask you another question or if I should launch into these studies. No, I'm just going to launch into it. So I read a couple studies. One of them is called a systematic review on the efficacy of virtual reality and gamification interventions for managing anxiety and depression. It's a lot,
That's a lot.
but that is what it was about. They're like, let me tell you exactly what we're doing here. Basically, they were talking about gamification. So using like fun like game features, like earning points or leveling up or collecting badges in like non-game settings. So those things that we're striving for and we're looking for just in our typical game, they're using those things in mental health therapy. So to kind of help get people more involved and like they were saying before, just having more interactivity helps with like buy-in. So they were talking a lot about virtual reality therapy and how it's been showing a lot of promise in helping folks with anxiety and depression. And it does use like a lot of elements of play and motivation, like challenges and rewards, and even a little friendly competition, they noted. So I thought that was pretty cool because in a way it's like you get to play games if you are a gamer and you're also like working towards your wellness journey. They also talked about how it provides users with safe, non-threatening environments where folks can experience a different world and learn how to cope with their anxiety and depression. So I think similar to like that exposure therapy piece where you're kind of immersed in those situations so you can work on managing your symptoms. So that's what that study was talking about. The other study I read is called The Use of Electronic Games in Therapy, a review with clinical implications. So basically, they kind of just gave a rundown of like the impact that e-health and virtual reality games had on therapy overall. And they had mentioned that it helped reduce symptoms of depression, anxiety, anger, and disruptive behavior, and also was helpful in improving self-concept and emotional well-being. So I thought that was pretty cool. And they kind of broke it down into different caveats. So they talk about like benefits of like cognitive and behavioral health, emotional and social skills development, and then therapeutic applications. So for cognitive and behavioral benefits, they talked about boosting motivation, attention, learning, and memory. So kind of speaking to what you were talking about, how like they're using a lot of VR gaming for folks that are trying to manage ADHD symptoms. So I think that's a big piece of it. It also helps with like problem solving, executive functioning, and creativity as well. And they also provides that immediate feedback that a lot of folks, especially I think across the board, we're all kind of like looking for immediate feedback. Did we do well? Is that, are we reaching those levels? But I think especially for folks with ADHD, getting that instant gratification helps with behavior modification. So
Hmm.
I think it's super important that they're able to do that.
Can I
And then
interrupt you
also,
real quick?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Because you said executive functioning, and what I've been finding in the world that I'm out and about in is that people don't know what executive functioning is. And so, do you want to
Ah,
explain it or do you want me to explain it?
I mean, it looks like you're looking at if you have a definition. If not, I can talk about. I know a lot of executive functioning skills are a piece like organizational skills, right?
Hmm.
So being able to be on time to things, keeping up with appointments, keeping up with like task activation. So being able, if you have certain things on the to-do list, it's actually doing those things, right?
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Things like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything else you
No.
want to add to
I
it?
would just add, like, these are apparently all, not apparently, they are all the skills that one should have as like a fully grown adult with a fully developed brain, but we know that the brain isn't fully developed until about age 25 or so. And so,
Mm-hmm.
like Ariel is saying, some of the skills are like prioritization, emotional regulation,
Mm-hmm.
um, time management, all these things. And what I often find,
Oh,
like,
that's
I'm
a
sure
big
you
one.
talking on here or listening right now and us talking, like, if you ask me on a bad day if I have all these skills, absolutely not. If you ask me right now, as we're doing this podcast, do I have all these skills? Like, absolutely not. But we're oftentimes expecting younger
Mm,
folks, young adults, youth, kids to be able to do all these things without repetition when it's like
mm-hmm.
literally brain isn't fully developed. So we can't expect that. So the fact that
Right.
there's something that helps kids to be able to learn it because they either have
Mm-hmm.
to be taught it and or well yeah taught it either directly and hopefully by it being modeled. And so it's nice that there's a study that's saying like, hey, this is something that can help kids and can help people
Yeah.
with their executive functioning skills because you literally have to be taught them, or you end up finding
Yeah.
ways to adapt to be able to cover up for a lack that you might have in one of those executive functioning skills. So just wanted to say that
Absolutely.
real quick because it's like such a term, but it's like, ooh, it's loaded and it means so much.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. Because, yeah, I mean, I think not only younger ones struggle with it, but like you were saying, like there are times when we are all struggling with executive functioning. So,
Hmm.
yeah, it is really great that they're able to do that, and I think it's through, like you were saying, repetition, a lot of diligence and persistence, like, are super helpful in those areas. And so, I think, too, I was reading something else, but I didn't add it into the episode. But I know that more therapists, social workers, folks that are doing direct service, especially with kids, are trying to incorporate more virtual reality and gamification things to help kids with ADHD and to help that executive functioning. And I think there are, I'm gonna have to look it up again. But and one of the things that I read, they were talking about how social workers in schools were really trying to use it, especially with the rise of technology, and a lot of schools that have the resources are able to give their students Chromebooks or access to Chromebooks or whatever. And so I do know, especially with telehealth and all of those things on the rise, are able to like use those things more. So yeah, it's really fun. And I also know, I mean, outside of mental health, I still remember like gamification of things and making it super fun. Like I remember being in like elementary school and learning how to type and how they made it a game, and like my competitive self was like, I must I must win. And so like it definitely can be helpful because it makes learning fun. You know what I mean? And so whether it's skill based, whether it's learning like management of symptoms, like it makes it so it doesn't feel as loaded. So it provides that fun element. Um, Back to that study, because we are kind of talking about emotional and social skills. It did say that they found that it helped with like emotional expression and like regulation of negative emotions, and so it helps like improve mood and also increase positive emotional strategies. So I think that's also super helpful. And some of the programs that they highlighted. was Mood Gym, which most of these I actually have not heard, but these are all games that were helped to enhance CBT treatment, so cognitive behavioral treatment for depression. So they use Mood Gym, Beating the Blues, and Color Your Life. I have not seen any of these, but these, and I've found them in a lot of studies. So there is a lot of like use of these things. So yeah, one thing that they did know is that for games to be most effective, if folks are trying to make games, it should be tailored to the user's age, gender, cultural background, and developmental stage. Because, of course, something that might work for somebody who's 8 might not work for somebody who's 16. You know what I mean? So, keeping all
Mm.
of those things in mind, and also as if someone is developing a game for that, it's just making sure that the treatment goals and the diagnosis should guide the style and the features of the game. So, like, if you were doing a VR reality thing for a phobia of, I'm blanking on all the phobias, and you
Spiders?
know what? That's great because you know what keeps popping up in my head. My word. Those episodes of Maury from back in the day. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. That talk show Maury. He's known for You Are Not the Father, right?
Yeah.
But he did a lot of episodes about phobias and exposure therapy, and I'm not gonna
Mm.
get into like whether I think it was good or not. It wasn't, but
What were we doing? Can we pause it right there though? What were we doing? Because we were children watching these like during the summer. I was watching Mari. I was watching Jerry Springer, like
yes, yes, I
eating that
was
up. Too
having a great
young.
time.
Too
Having a great
young.
time.
They would do
I
the
knew that
scared
though.
straight stuff. You would find
Oh
out all
yeah.
kinds of drama. Baby daddy, like, what was
Yes.
I doing? Who allowed me? Just a kid in front of the TV.
Sitting in front of the TV. We were quiet. We were chilling. Wasn't
Shocked.
causing no trouble.
Shocked. Be like,
Having
oh
a
my
time.
God,
I
clutching my
will never
pearls.
forget. There was one episode where this woman, she said that she was afraid of like cotton. And so like she was like on the show and she was talking about how she's like really, really afraid of cotton. And the way they did exposure therapy wasn't, I do not agree at all.
I
But
can
they would
only
just,
imagine. They're like, we
dude.
got to do this by the end of the hour.
So they would essentially just flood them. So they'd be like out, they'd be out there. They'd talk about like this is why it's scary to me, blah blah blah. Next thing you know, somebody would come onto the stage with like billows and billows of cotton, and like of course, the poor woman takes off running because she's terrified. And
Mhm.
there was no intervention, there were no strategies, there was like nothing that was like really done to like
Mhm.
help her navigate that situation. And then like
Mhm.
later they'd have like I think they had like footage of like her speaking with the therapist, or they were
Oh.
basically saying that like, here we're gonna help you with your exposures, blah blah blah. Then they cut and she goes back to the stage, and here comes Cotton. She's still scared, but she's not like running for the hills. So any hoodles, the way they did it was like a hot mess. But why I even bring that up,
You
I
were talking
don't
about,
know.
well, you were talking about CBT, we were talking about VR, exposure therapy. We had talked about all those things at one point.
It's back. I was
Okay.
talking about how treatment goals and diagnoses should guide what that game or
Oh,
that
yeah.
treatment should be. So if you're
Mhm.
scared of one thing and it's showing you something else, and it's not going to actually help. So
Right, 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 right.
anywho, yeah, that was a serious side quest.
Loved it though.
But
Had to. I was like,
because
yo.
what? Maury, what?
More.
Um
But weren't we talking about being scared of spiders? Because we talked about that.
Yes, that's what we were saying. Being scared of spiders. So if you were scared of spiders and then you did some sort of VR game or other like therapy based games, like the hope is that through small exposures along with therapy, that like your symptoms of anxiety or fear would decrease as you kind of make it through the game. So I imagine that you see one, if you can withstand it for X amount of time, you move on to the next level, you get some more points. And so you're kind of getting that instant feedback saying, like, yes, like you're doing good, you're working on the strategies, blah, blah, blah. And I think while the game is happening, they're also introducing coping skills, grounding skills, mindfulness techniques to kind of help manage that distress in
Hmm.
real time. So
Hmm.
yeah, let's like pop over to some questions.
Okay.
Okay. Why do you think people are drawn to digital tools for managing their mental health?
I think, like you said, first, stigma is the first thing that comes to mind for me. Like, there's a lot of stats around it, but by the time someone's like wanting to seek help, it could be really hard in order to do so. I think about even my own experience, which you know, Ariel, but for the folks listening, when I was trying to finally find a therapist, right now there's a lot of wait times. I had to make sure I
Yeah.
had some coins to be able to pay for my copay and some insurance and all this other stuff, right? It was really hard to find a therapist. I'm just trying to keep it really real. I think I'd gone to like Psychology Today, and I was like, I want a black woman. I need her to take my insurance. And I forget like the last thing I wanted them to have. But nevertheless, I would finally be like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna like reach out to some people. And I thought I would have to reach out to maybe one or two and they'd get back to me right away and all this. And that just wasn't happening. And so it was taking so long to finally get connected to somebody. And in the interim, you're like, what the hell am I supposed to do? Like, what are you supposed to do? Right? Like, I could read a
Yeah.
self-help book, but like, sometimes when you're actually in the middle of something, right, which is oftentimes when you're going to look for a therapist,
Yeah.
it's like you need something in the meantime. And so I think having like a headspace or having just something where you can be able to get help sooner, I think makes it really appealing. On top of like we've already discussed, like I do see my therapist. I've seen my therapist now for years. But I've never seen her like face to face in a room. We meet
Yeah.
on the computer whenever we're like needing to have a little chat. When I'm like, hey, it's time again. Like, let's schedule something.
You're like, I have some things to talk
Yeah,
about. Like,
okay, I'm unwell. Let's check in. So I think like, just again, having the tools or like in between seeing my therapist or like, hey, you need to work on XYZ or checking on
yeah.
your mood and being just like all these things make it easier. And I've had conversations with friends too about it's like you finally want to change your life around or change some habit that you have, right? And me and my friends that I'm talking to were like, we're in our 30s. And I'm like, but you were, and I tell myself this, you were functioning XYZ way for
Yeah.
30 years. This is going to take a lot of practice before it changes again. And so, like, minimally add another 30 years, bro. Like, this is going to continuously be something that you're having to practice with. And so, I'm saying that to say the tools can be really helpful and helping you to practice and helping you to catch your thoughts and reframe them and helping you to know
Yeah.
your emotions and be able to identify them and track them over time and understand what your triggers are and all of that. So, I mean, you've talked about so many tools, but I'm
I
trying to
did.
like bring it in and say like between stigma, between these long wait times to see somebody, and then if you just can't in the moment at all see somebody, like at least you have something that you can lean on in this day and age, which is
Yeah.
nice. And it's not always going to work. And for anybody who's wondering like, but what do I do then? Sometimes I've gone and even talked to my primary care physician, so like my normal doctor that I see who has no mental health background, to be like, hey, I'm a little unwell right now. Like, what can I do for some help? So, all that to say, it can be hard. So, sometimes it's nice to have some tools at your disposal to try and get what you need as best as you can.
Definitely, definitely. And it's funny because your answer literally just answered a bunch of other questions that I had.
Oh, whoops.
So, bing, bing, bing.
Whoops.
I was like, wow, yes, 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 yes. You're hitting all the points.
Sorry.
No, I'm not sorry
Don't
at
you
all
look at you
because
right.
I mean, okay, you said let me give a holistic answer. Love it. I love
Get
it.
out of here. Stop. We just want to be helped. We just want to be well.
And it's like, honestly, like, I'm not gonna say by any means necessary, but like the ones that are helpful, yeah, like, so I think too, one of the things about e-health or like gamification of therapy, I really do think that like that piece of gaming that's super helpful is like the earning badges or the leveling up or like the daily streaks or you know what I mean? Like I think like being able to track those things in that way is like super, super helpful in just like holding yourself accountable and like remaining consistent,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like have worked with some young kids who like love a Snapchat stream, right? Like they will talk to each other back and forth, not even because they want to talk to each other, because they want to keep the stream going. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
I
Like,
learned about this. Why did I learn about this? I was talking to a colleague who was talking about her kid and how they
mhm,
were just literally doing it to keep the streak going, like,
mhm,
and the drama
mhm,
that it would cause. She was in
mhm.
like middle school, high school, like maybe freshman now, but I was just like shook a little. Like,
Yeah,
what are they doing? People still
yeah.
use this app? That I
Dude,
felt my
people,
age at that
yeah,
point.
people do. It came back though. It was like big, and then it like went away, and then it like came back. And I don't know if it's still popular, but
And meanwhile, I can't help but have like shifty eyes. I was like,
I know. I was like, that's neither here nor there. But
like,
but I do know, like, even if like for your own mental health reasons, it's difficult to like keep up with that consistency, keep up with those strategies. Having something like wanting to maintain a streak or wanting to earn a badge or something can be super helpful
hmm
in making sure that you're doing the things,
yeah.
right? So
Yeah,
I think it's super
related,
helpful.
unrelated, but like unrelated. Because physical health is part of mental health. Ding! So it's
Mhm.
super related.
Mhm.
So the
Mhm.
closest I think I've gotten to this, besides like a headspace, a calm, like some of these things, I've never done VR therapy. Obviously I've done telehealth. But okay, I at one point was like really wanting to get back into working out. This was years ago now. Now I was convinced that the Ring Fit was gonna be it. I was like, oh, this is what's gonna turn me around. I'm really gonna work out. But and like ultimately it didn't. But there was a while there where it was exactly like you were saying. I was like getting my
Mhm.
points. You're like
Mhm.
going through these levels. Do you know what the Ring Fit is?
No.
Okay, okay. So the Ring the Ring Fit, it's this video game for the Switch and it's not like We Fit. It's like
Okay. I was
you're
gonna ask if it was similar to We Fit, because that I am familiar with,
yeah,
but
it like is but isn't. So it's like really like there's a story and you are a character and you are having to go
mm,
through like levels, kind of like a platformer, but not, but like you're just going through levels, you're getting to the boss, you have to beat the boss. But in order for you to do moves, you literally have this ring that they have you use in different ways with the Joy-Cons. But the ring is like damn near a Pilates ring where you're like squeezing it between your legs. You're using it to lift and to
yes.
twist, and they're like measuring what you're doing to make sure you're doing the full sit up or whatever it is.
Ooh,
Um,
uh-oh. They're
and
like, no
so,
slackers over here, buddy. Okay,
yeah,
well,
yeah,
no.
yeah. And yes, for the damn sit-ups for sure. But all that to say,
They got you, didn't they?
it got me. I was like, this is really tough. It did not turn me like completely 180. Like I work out every day using the Ring Fit, but when I was
Hmm.
using it, it was really fun to like
Hmm.
have that as something
Hmm.
to continue to work for and like get points and like
Yeah,
have a story that I was working through
yeah,
and stuff
yeah.
like that. I really did like it.
Yeah. I think things like that too are really good in just helping you form a habit, right? Especially like if I think about like physical health, right? Like
Hmm
it's it, for me personally, I could be like on a really good run. I'll be like, boom, we've worked out 4 or 5 times a week, and I could do that like consistently for like 5, 6 weeks and be like, we're in it, we're doing it, and then like
hmm
let it be one week. I go out of town, it's raining. I don't know, whatever the reason is. One week I take off and then I'm out. I
You
am
don't do it
down.
anymore.
Like, you
I
know
don't
what
do
I
it
mean?
anymore.
Like, I am done
Woo.
so. And so I think like having something like that can help help keep you like consistent. You know what I
Mhm,
mean? Like if you don't have to leave your home to do it, or like,
mhm,
or when you're like there's something's going on, I don't necessarily have the time to do a typical workout, but I can do one of these things and like
mhm.
still get that, still get that movement in. So,
Yeah. You're also
yeah.
making me, I have to mention, because you talked about habits. I've read it like twice now. I told myself this will be a book I read every year, and I haven't, talking about habits. But I don't know if you've read it, but Atomic Habits, they do a really good job of like, by they, I mean the author who is James Clear, does a really good job of explaining how to create a habit and how the
Mm,
habit's almost even more important than the goal because
mhm.
you have to have the
Mhm.
habit in order to like reach the things. And so feel like does a
Yeah.
good job of breaking that down. And I always am like, yes, no, I'm going to do my habits. And then I do. And then that
Mm-hmm.
week or two or three happens. And
Uh-huh.
now I don't have
Uh-huh.
a habit in sight. But I'm trying to get more disciplined. Maybe when I'm an adult, I will have figured it out.
Not when
Slowly
you're
but
an
surely.
adult, friend. We're here. We're here.
We're the adults. Oh.
I
Um,
know. It's really we're like the most unserious generation ever, but we're a
I'm
lot of
having a
fun.
great time.
We're a
Yeah.
lot of fun. I know that
Yeah.
much.
Responsible still.
Yeah, and actually, you know what? This is gonna bring me to my last question. Like, what features do you think makes like a mental health app actually helpful versus just like pretty?
That's a good question. And I have to think about it from like my experience. What makes them actually helpful? God, this is hard. Because
The
I
one
think,
I can say the one thing that came to mind for me
hmm
is literally just the reminders. Like,
that's what I was
I
thinking.
would get like my
Notification.
I don't have it on right now, and I'm pointing to my
Your
wrist.
watch.
My watch. I was like, "What is the word?" I
Mm-hmm.
would get reminders to move. Like literally,
Mm-hmm.
they'd be like, "Hey, girl, you need to get up,"
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, "Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I do. Yes, I do need
Mm-hmm.
to get up." You know. So I think
Mm-hmm.
for me, just like having those reminders are super helpful. I'm sorry, I should
Mm-hmm.
cut you off. Go ahead.
No, 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 no. That's actually what I was thinking first, and I was thinking, is there something deeper than that? But now I'm
Hmm.
going to get on topic, off topic again with another side quest. Remember how we were
Hmm.
talking about TikTok and the
Hmm.
how I was talking about you can put the parameters on there for that in IG,
Yeah.
so that it can give you a little reminder, like, hey, you gotta get off. You said a little thing, and it's happened to me. It'll come up and it'll be like,
Mm.
it's been 10 minutes. You want to take a break? Granted, right next to the yes and to like sign out is the no. You can say no
No, I
very
do
easily.
not. No, I do
No,
not.
I'm good. And then I've also had it on the hour for the entire day. And I've hit that, and you have to put in a code, and the code is like 1234, and then you could continue. But it's at least good to have the reminder. And then I have the sleep hours, and again, you can ignore that. But
Yeah.
still, it's like nice to have that reminder. So I think to your point, having a
Yeah.
notification or a reminder is essential because again,
Hmm.
at least you can be aware. Um, I also think knowing what you can use the app for and then the UI, like the user interface, and making sure that it's easy to navigate are also the other
Yeah.
two things that come to mind. I think
Yeah.
if they're overwhelming and you don't know what to use it for, then it's not super helpful.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I think like Headspace has just done a really good job. That's what I use the most these
Hmm.
days.
Hmm.
Um, just for like meditation and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And you know
Yeah.
what you're getting. And they did a really good job with their like colors and that little character, sun looking
Hmm.
thing. And you know what you're going to get when you do that. But those are some of the things that come to mind.
Yeah, definitely.
Does anything else come to mind for you?
Um, I feel like those are my big ones. I also really do like the streak part.
Mhm.
I mean, I've mentioned on this podcast a couple times, I'm super competitive. And so, like, kind of
Mhm.
like playing against myself and making sure that I'm still doing the things, like, it really
Mhm.
does help motivate me. And that's not even just mental health apps. That could be, I mean, even with my, like, Kindle. I will like look to see like how many days have I read this week, or if I see that I've done like,
Mm. I didn't even know you could
multiple.
do that.
Dude, mine has been like giving me life because I'm like really, there's so far, I think this month I've only missed 2 days, I think. And so when I see that stuff, I'm like, man, I'm killing it. Like, we're doing
I'm gonna be
great.
the side quest queen today. Can I, as a friend to friend, ask you a genuine question? What do you do when the book gets stressful, but it's so stressful that you're actually like, I'm gonna put it down for a while? And like, because I
Mm,
don't want this next part to happen so bad that I'm like, so I don't know when I'm gonna come back to this book, but I don't want to get to the part that I know is coming, you know?
I do know what you're saying. I'm gonna be real honest with you, G. That does not happen to me.
Oh my
I
God, I get stressed.
power through.
No,
I read faster when that happens. Like there
no,
have been
my
times where
heart
I'll
beats.
read. No, see that's when I'm like I am activated then because there will be times when I'm in a book and it's like a really really intense part. I will start reading so fast that I have to go back and reread it because I'm like just trying to like get to the part or whatever, and then I have to be like, ma'am, slow down.
I do have to do the cover the bottom. When I get to
Like
that,
receive it.
yeah, yeah. When I get to
You
that,
know.
I'll do that. But there are sometimes like the book that I'm reading. Okay, I'll just say what the damn book is. No, because then what if somebody's like, I haven't read this yet and I don't want it to be spoiled.
Okay, don't
Hmm.
say what you're reading, but just say what the book is. Just give us the title.
Oh, what's after Fourth Wing? Iron.
Iron Flame. I was like, I should know this. Iron
I
Flame.
know you should.
Yes.
It's just getting a little stressful, and I'm like,
That's one of them
uh,
books that I read in 2 days, girl. I
oh, good for
did I
you. It
tell
was
you?
so slow for me in the beginning. It took me, I think, desperation
I
to
think I
start.
skipped a party to keep reading. I'm pretty sure I did that.
That wouldn't be your first time.
And it's not. I was like, I'm not going to this. And I'm like flying. And it was like one of those days I stayed up very
I won't
late.
read it before bed anymore. I will say that.
That is
Um,
a smart thing to do because I was definitely up at like 3 o'clock in the morning, like
yeah, I don't read
flying through
before
that
bed anymore
sucker.
because of that. Like just period.
Yeah, yeah.
It'll be 2 a.m. and I'm like, well, how did we get here?
Mm-hmm.
This was a side quest of all side quests. You
It's
didn't
so
really
fun
help
though.
me.
I'm
But I
sorry.
will
I was
just
like, that is not a thing I do. As you were saying it, I was like, oh no, I can't. I
like,
can't help
help me.
you.
Because it doesn't happen all the time. I think I can like therapy my own self and probably say why. I'm like, yo, this level of stress I don't enjoy.
But I do
We can talk
think
about it
if
more
you are
offline.
feeling that though, like just do your strategies, girl. Like you got some
Yeah,
in the toolkit. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So
yeah. I'm just trying not to put on my DNR. Like, I'm trying to continue. Yeah. It's DNR, right? Did not, DNF? Did not finish?
did not finish. Just
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Oh my God, I swear I read. I swear.
It's yeah.
Anyways,
Anyways, yes. That was the last of my questions. Yeah, which was what makes it more helpful versus
oh yeah, yeah.
pretty, which is when I started talking about streaks. So yes.
Hmm.
Any other thoughts on this? I know like I kind of hit you with a bunch of info, but those articles were super dense and I really just tried to like summarize best I could. But
I think it's a good step into, I guess, what I've even thought about before and looked into before about like what are the things that are already in existence? What are the people already using in therapy? What can folks already buy by themselves? Like, I'm still curious. I still want to know more
yeah,
about the games. I typed them
yeah,
down so I can be able to remember them or look them up
yeah,
later and look more into them because
yeah.
I think it's super interesting. I even remember somebody talking about, I think there was a whole TED talk on it, a game that's available, but you have to have a prescription for it. So
Okay.
I think people are doing really, really cool things when it comes to this space,
Yeah.
and there's a lot more to learn. But this was a good like first step.
Yeah, yeah. And I wanted to mention, related but not really, just in terms of like places to look for like meditations and whatnot. I know we mentioned Headspace, we mentioned Calm, but I do know that like YouTube has so many different like meditation videos. I know Spotify has a lot, and one meditation that I found, which was like I think another podcast had mentioned it like years ago, but there's a meditation done by RZA from Wu Tang Clan.
Oh,
And
really?
it's so fun to me. Like, and
Oh.
they're like labeled different ones. So it'll be like, um, I don't know, it could be like one for focus, one
Mm-hmm.
for, you know what I mean? Just kind of like different themes for it. But it
Mm-hmm.
was really cool that
Nice.
um, they have that available. So,
I love that. I also
yeah.
use Insight Timer probably actually the most, more than anything else. And
Mhm.
what I love about it is that they have free meditations, they have paid meditations too. So, first there's that because Headspace is not free. But then they also have this feature where you can set an intention for the day.
Mm.
And then it'll stay as like a widget on your phone so that anytime, depending on where you place it, you open it, you can see your intention and be reminded of it. And so I really like that part of it too.
Yeah.
It's really, really
Yeah.
nice. Like, really nice. So we're out here and trying.
Doing our best. Doing
I
our
feel like that's,
best.
is that our motto?
I think that is the motto.
Doing our best.
Doing our best.
Doing
Okay.
our best. I
So
love it. I
yeah,
love it.
so that is our topic for the week for debug this.
Okay, awesome. So we can move
Yeah.
into glow mode next. The space for wins, wisdom, and words that lift us up. Ariel, what's a word, phrase, or affirmation that sets your intention for this next week?
Oh my gosh, the fact that we're talking about intentions and we're just talking. What is that app that you use?
Insight timer. You're
I
totally
think
right. I
I'm
was
gonna
just
have
saying
to
that.
like
Check it out.
download that.
Yeah, let me
Because I'm
know.
like,
Let me know what you think.
okay, so I think my intention for the week is um I guess it's not so much a word. It's actually kind of a task that I really need to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, as I am doing this like pretty intense training for my job, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like there's a lot going on there. And so I need
Mm-hmm.
to really kind of dig into part two. It's a pretty intensive training. So, like, I think that's what I'm really going to focus on the next week or two. I should be done with it. So, yeah, I just need to stay focused. Maybe that's the intention, is just
Okay.
be focused.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
I love that. You got it. You're a
Yeah.
great test taker too, and you're good at
Yeah.
memorizing stuff. So you'll do a great job.
Yeah.
It's just a matter
Thanks,
of doing it.
friend.
Yeah.
It really just is doing it. Like, I just
Hmm.
need to, like, so, you know what? Maybe that's what I'll put on with Desolation of Smog.
Oh my. There you go. There you go.
There we
Keep
go.
focused.
Okay, full
Gotta finish these
circle.
next two movies. It's a lot of
Okay.
time. Hmm.
I knew it all. What is your intention for the week?
It's also not a word. It's well, yeah, I guess like listen, but specifically listen to my body. So like if it's
Mm,
saying to rest, rest. If it's saying drink water, like fill my cup up, drink
mm-hmm.
some more water, and not
Mm-hmm.
grab some like a jarritos or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If it's saying like do some stretches, do some, just like listening to it and
Yeah.
doing whatever it's asking of me,
Yeah.
and not feeling the shoulds of the world of like, oh, you're really tired and you want to rest. You should be cleaning. You should be cooking. You
Mm-hmm.
should be whatever the hell else.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to let go
Mm-hmm.
of that and trying to just rest, I think.
Yeah. I
Be
love
okay with that.
that. Mm-hmm.
Thanks,
Mm-hmm.
girl. Thanks.
Okay. So remember, you all can tune in on YouTube and Spotify. You could follow us on IG or email us at glitchandglowpod@gmail.com. And we'll see y'all in 2 weeks on Tuesday. And as we power down, remember, every glitch has a glow up. Bye.
Bye, y'all.